The Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, will be revealing his budget at 7:30pm tonight, and we'll all be interested to see what could be in store for the housing market. Joining us live now is Samantha Reece, Australian Apartment Advocacy CEO. Good to see you, Samantha. Thank you for coming into the studio. For apartment owners and renters, for that matter, watching the budget being handed down tonight, what is it that they should be looking for? What's your understanding of what sort of relief could be on offer?
There's a couple of really good things in there for the apartment market, which is pleasing to see. Certainly the first home and the family home guarantee guidelines have changed, right? So that means that you don't have to be a couple anymore, so to speak, to actually get the grant. You can be a brother and sister, or you can be mates. But for us, the biggest game changer is those people who actually have not owned a property for 10 years can now actually access the grant to get their foothold into the property ladder. So if you were a married couple, you're now a single parent, 10 years has gone by, you can now actually access that grant. And as you know, as a single parent, trying to raise that kind of money for a mortgage deposit can be tough going. So we believe that's a real game changer.
Right. So it's basically improving access to the housing market. Correct. For a lot of people who have been missing out in recent times.
Because, our housing market has gone skyrocketing, hasn't it? And if you actually haven't had wages that have kept up with that growth, there's definitely a big disparity now between getting into the housing market. But that announcement about the depreciation with build to rent and also some land tax alleviation around that, that's great news too, because that build to rent often offers a much longer tenure of tenancy, so 5 or 6 years rather than 6 months or 12 months. But what we want to see is that actually is put into an affordable location. At the moment, the majority of build to rent is in the luxury market. And as you know, that's not where people are hurting. So we want to see it put near train stations, schools, where you can walk around to where you need and where it actually is focused on affordability.
We just saw some new data out today showing that building approvals are significantly down for that first 3 months of this year. That's a real worry, isn't it?
Yes, correct. And construction costs are also forcing that. Interest rates, developers aren't wanting to pay the interest rates. There's a lag of skilled workers. So, the commitment by federal government of $2 billion for social housing, very much needed, but we need to actually bring in that skilled migration. And it needs to be wedded to the construction industry, because if they don't actually make that part of the condition of the visa, they'll go off to other industries which might pay slightly more, but delivering houses is where our focus needs to be.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about the problem with rising rents in recent years. It's a huge problem, the cost of living. We've been getting quite a few hints from the Treasurer that we can expect something on the rent assistance relief front tonight. What are you expecting when you're looking through the budget papers? What are you going to be looking for?
Well, certainly we are looking for that kind of focus on that 1 million homes being built, from 2024 within 5 years. Now that they've got that surplus, that should become a reality. We do need to see a lot more public-private partnerships. Personally, we would like to see every apartment building have a proportion of affordable housing provided in there, an inclusive kind of clause, and then the developer can actually have fast-tracked approvals or greater bonus height or whatever. But it needs to become now something that's actually mandated rather than actually left up to, the possibility of it happening, because the possibility is that there will always be a push for a profit, and we need to actually put community and also equitability of apartment ownership or living in an apartment as a priority.
And when we look at profitability for apartment owners who might rent that out, strata levies have gone through the roof, haven't they?
Yes,
that's
so
been
we've
an
seen
issue
a 40%
too.
increase in strata levies, but that's linked also to insurance, plus also that push up with, kind of maintenance plans and the construction costs going up. We're just seeing that mirrored across everywhere. But, at the end of the day, we do need to see that surplus budget spent on actually making sure that home ownership is more equitable. And certainly at the moment, if you're an apartment owner and living in 4 stories or higher, you don't have home warranty insurance. And so we would love to see that surplus actually focus on getting that building confidence report, especially the independent audits, actually pushed along. Because if we can have independent audit of the build, we can then bring in home warranty insurance. So it doesn't matter if you buy a single-story house or an apartment in 47 stories, you will have the same coverage, and that's really important.
Okay, so it sounds like there's lots of room for improvement. We'll see if it delivers on some of those issues that no doubt you've been lobbying for from the government in recent months. So, Reece, really appreciate your insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Ash.